Mr. Chairman, nice to see you, sir.
Well, Greta, thanks for coming back, and thanks for coming to our hearing room.
Yeah, we have a gorgeous hearing room. All right, the taxpayers, I should say, have a gorgeous hearing room.
They do.
All right, tomorrow you're going to have a hearing. What's tomorrow's hearing?
Tomorrow's hearing is a review of the Hatch Act, in other words, a law that says you can't spend government money doing politicking for political parties, and the effects that may come out of the president reinstituting an office inside the White House that coordinates these possible activities.
All right, someone under subpoena?
We did insist on them coming. There was sort of this reluctance to discuss something where Senator Obama said this should be closed. President Obama closed this office, and now he says it's a different office when he reopens it. It's important, Greta, that if that's the case, we trust but verify, and we set down the rules to make sure that we all agree on what can or can't be done at taxpayers' expense, supporting basically political activities.
All right, but you've subpoenaed someone the White House doesn't want to send over here.
Well, the people who come have to be the people who can answer our questions. We had a briefing today. It was informative and helpful, but the American people didn't hear that briefing. The American people deserve to know what's being done with their taxpayer dollars supporting political activities by the office of the president.
All right, so you're now lifting the subpoena. Should we expect a showdown tomorrow? Because the White House counsel says this person should not testify. Will there be a showdown tomorrow?
I don't expect to be. Harriet Miers was asked to come, turned down coming. The court said she had to come. I think in this case, the case law is pretty straightforward. We're doing an investigation pursuant to our oversight. This is the witness we chose. If this witness can only answer some of our questions, I understand. But it's a witness we chose, and they didn't give us an alternate viable witness we thought could really explain what was going on at the White House.
All right, now let me shift over to the FEC. There's been a hard drive crash over at the FEC, and a woman lawyer over at the FEC has now she has resigned because she violated the Hatch Act. Is that correct?
That's correct. She admitted she violated the Hatch Act. The official word is that the hard drive was recycled. At the end of the day, you have a known Hatch Act violation, video conferencing being done at government expense from a government conference room in support of campaigning, and the individual not being prosecuted because, in fact, her hard drive was destroyed.
All right. Now, one of the things I looked at was her Twitter account, and you're not supposed to be politicking when you're working at the FEC, and as a lawyer at the FEC, her Twitter account clearly shows her as being a President Obama supporter and actually anti-Republican, quite viciously anti-Republican. And so that's the violation, right? Or at least it's indicative of a violation.
It's a piece of the violation. It's part of why she pled out, if you will, and resigned. And this is somebody who worked closely with Lois Lerner, who also had a very skeptical or very questionable past at the FEC of being biased. This may be the biggest story there is in IRS, is people get to have careers in which they continue to show their politics and keep their jobs in high and important areas like the Federal Election Commission and like the IRS, and we need to change that.
You know what I thought from that reading the exchange and reading her tweets? I don't think there's anyone in her office, in this lawyer's office at the FEC, who didn't know exactly where she stood and what she thought. And it's just like, I don't understand why more people aren't stepping up and tipping off people. First of all, telling people it's wrong to do it. Secondly, whistleblowers.
Well, Greta, this is one of the problems. The Federal Election Commission is a 3-2, basically a 5-person commission with Republicans and Democrats. We understand the top, there are partisan votes and partisan thinking, but it's allowed to bleed down without any stoppage. That's wrong at the FEC, and it's clearly wrong at the IRS.
She's a lawyer. She knows better. I mean, that's the problem.
She's a lawyer. Lois Lerner is a lawyer. They knew better.